In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how we went about creating this athletic tail for this new football design that we just completed. I thought it's kind of an interesting look, something a little bit different, but the technique in creating that tail is actually quite simple, and I wanted to share that with you. So what we're going to do here is grab our text tool, and let's just type out a few letters. So I just typed out A, B, C, D, F, G. And then we're going to switch fonts, which is our athletic tail font here. And then if we look at these tails, you can see all the various different tails that are available. And there's a bunch of different ones. But what we're going to do is go to our fonts tab and choose break apart. And I think I'm going to start with our letter B tail. So pick a tail that you like. And then of course we need to set the size of our tail, which in this case, let's just say I set my tail at 9.5 inches. And then what I did is I went ahead and grabbed some football text, and we're going to change that to ballpark. And of course we'll go ahead and scale it up as well, position it about where we want it. And then what I did is I'm going to go ahead and add an envelope to it, and I'm going to delete those two nodes, delete these two nodes, select all of those and change those to a straight line. And then I can come in here and pull this down and push this up and do whatever I want to as far as that goes. And we could connect the two. Okay? But we're not going to really focus, I want to make this a little bit wider. We're not really going to focus on stoning the football. What our focus is going to be is on our athletic tail. So if we double click on the athletic tail, you can see there's quite a few nodes all along the tail. So we're going to go ahead and delete some of these because we don't need all of them. And then all we're going to do is just modify the tail however we want to modify it. So we can make it a little bit thicker. We can pull it up like this. We can pull it down like that. Whatever you want to do as far as adjusting the tail goes. So maybe we want to do something like that. Okay? Now again, we should set our size. Very important. Always remember to set your size again once you've made all the changes. So we're going to have the overall width be 9.5 inches. So let's go ahead and make a copy of our tail. And what I'm going to do is give it no fill. So just click on that little X. But let's give it an outline. And for this example, let's use, I don't know, red. It's fine. Alright, so we're going to double click on our tail again. That brings us into our shape edit tool, where I'm going to click on this node, hold my shift key down, and click on this node way over here. Okay, then we'll go to the editing tab and choose break at nodes. And we should get this. Okay, we got a green piece and a red piece. Alright, so what we're going to do is take our red piece, come up to our contour tool here, and what we're going to do is type in a value, which in this case I'm going to type in 3.9 millimeters. And for the steps, we'll just go ahead and change the steps to 16, and you can see what it's done. See how it's offset many times, right? So then the next thing we're going to do, this is a contour group, so we're going to break the contour group apart. Then we are going to select that again and right click and choose ungroup. And so now each one of these lines are separate. So now what we want to do is we want to trim these lines that we just created. So we're going to grab our green line, come over here to the editing tab and mark it. And then we're going to select everything. So I'm holding my Alt key down and dragging. And so I've selected my green line, which I don't want to do. And I've selected the original red line, which I also don't want to do. But everything else is selected. If I pull it away, you'll see that still is there, but all these offsets are still selected. Okay? Then we're going to click trim. And that's really all there is to it. So now what we're going to do is grab, using our Alt key, we're going to make a selection of all these lines. And watch what happens if I hit delete. See how all those lines were trimmed right to the shape. So we'll delete these two. And this one here, let's see here, that one's sticking over, so let's go ahead and try it again. We'll mark it, and then we'll trim that one back, and yes, that caught that little piece back to there. Alright, so now we can just go ahead and get rid of our green line because we don't need it, and then we'll take this and we'll delete it. We'll delete it, and we'll delete that little section there. Alright, so that kind of gets us our tail. And then of course all we do is, let's just change the color. Something you can see. We'll use amethyst for this example. Set our stone size to our SS10 stones. And we'll hit add stones. And then we will go ahead and delete our paths. Actually, I'm going to undo that one extra step here. We're going to add a stone there. I think we'll add a stone here as well. And we'll go to wireframe mode. We'll just pull this out a little bit so we get the spacing between stones like we want. That's good. Now I'll go back to enhance mode, take a quick look. Now we can go ahead and delete our stone paths. And then usually what I do is I come up here and we'll just tidy this up a bit. We'll do something like that. Whatever you want to do there. And then of course we can bring back our football text, and then we could just kind of do something like that to connect that. Go ahead and stone on our football text, and you just kind of have a fun little football design. So anyhow, that is how we went about creating that athletic tail for our new football design. So here's the finished product, and it looks like a nice little design, something just a little bit different than what we've seen other places. Thanks for watching.